Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, or even good mid of the night, whichever time zone you're joining me from. I'm so glad to join you today on this live. I guess this is my third Ask Me Anything session. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm not sure how many of you are excited. So, if you've been joining me here live for, let's say, a couple of for the past two sessions. We've been talking a lot about AI. I've been answering your questions, and just doing my goal of making all of you kind of be AI aware. We are living in such exciting times where AI is kind of everywhere, and there are like so many new things that's kind of like that's so many new things that's coming up with respect to AI. So it's very hard to keep up. So I guess like going live on all of these platforms every week helps me kind of like consolidate all of those things in my mind so that I can share it with you, and also share a couple of answers to the questions that you might have. So for those of you joining new here, welcome. Welcome to the my little corner of the internet where I share a little things that I know about AI, and help you in the progress of learning stuff about AI, and so that you become AI expert, even if not expert, at least become AI literate. Because let's face it, there are a lot of AI generated videos, AI generated images that's populating or circulating across social media. So it's very important to know that which is the truth and which is not. There's nothing wrong in watching all the AI generated videos. I mean, as someone who works in AI, as someone who sometimes occasionally creates AI generated videos, I'm pro AI, but it's kind of important to understand what's AI and what's not. So I guess many of you are joining still, but to let you know what we do here every week. So this is an Ask Me Anything session with respect to AI. So if you have any questions in regards to AI, please put it in the chat. For those of you who've joined via LinkedIn, you can post your questions in the comment box. So I'll go through the questions and answer all of the I'll clear all of your doubts with respect to AI. So this can be getting started with your career in AI, or it can be about AI tools that have launched in the past couple of weeks or months, or any question you have about AI. So go ahead, drop those comments, and drop those questions in the chat, and I'll go through all of them and I'll answer them for you in the next 1 hour. In the meantime, while those questions are kind of populating or like kind of dropping in, I'd like to kind of get started with something that's been happening this week. I know if you have not been living under a rock, or if you have not checked any of your social media platforms, you must have heard of something called Claude which kind of was renamed to Moltbot, and it was very difficult to pronounce. So they renamed it to OpenClaw. So that is the final name right now. They have named their Discord channel that with that name. They have their own domain with that name. So what is Claudebot or Moltbot or currently OpenClaw? So it is an open source AI agent. It was built on top of Anthropic's Claude. I'm pretty sure like many of you are aware of Claude. It is similar to ChatGPT or Gemini that you use every single day. So this Claudebot was, or currently OpenClaw, was built on top of Anthropic's Claude. It's an AI agent. It gained this viral adoption in the late, in like just last week. So, and it represents a kind of a watershed moment, if we can call it, in AI security specifically. So it was, thoroughly hyped, and it had a poor architecture, if you will. But essentially, what it does is it's an AI agent. So you can use it like how you use Claude Cowork or Claude Code. Just prompt it, and it does the work for you. So essentially, you install it on your system. don't do it, don't install it just yet, because it is open source. And you can, if you want, you can install it right now, but it comes with a lot of security vulnerabilities. So make sure, if you are experimenting with it, a huge disclaimer, install it on a separate system where you don't have all of your private information stored. The most preferable method to kind of use this 𝗀𝗏bot or OpenClaw is to have a dedicated private VPS session on a Amazon, on AWS or Azure, whichever cloud provider you are comfortable with, use there. But the thing is, 𝗀𝗏bot is currently, highly vulnerable to a lot of security measures. So that's why I just want to put it out there as to warn you not to install on your personal machines, and especially not on your work laptops, because I don't know, you might end up being fired. So yeah, with that being said, so this OpenClaw, it can be installed on your machines, on your computers, and instead of you doing all the work, let's say you want to send an email to someone in your organization. So all you do is you can either type in, or just like give a voice instruction saying, hey, type an email, let's say requesting leave because it's Sunday, let's face it, to your manager, asking for so and so, leave for the next 2 days because you're sick or you have a function or so on. So what the 𝗀𝗏bot does is, like any other AI agent, it opens your email provider, let's say Gmail, and goes to your create new email window and types in all the message that you want to send to your manager, picks out your manager's email and sends it. That's it. So it's like, what's most amazing about this is that, because 𝗀𝗏 essentially does the same thing, and any other AI agent system out there essentially does this. But the very important key aspect on this is that it is open source, and it can run on, anytime you need to like run this huge setup, you either spend lots and lots on API credits. That's how 𝗀𝗏 works. But the how OpenClaw is special is that it's open source, as I mentioned, and it can run even on Raspberry Pi, your personal laptop, and everybody has been like buying Mac Minis because it can run on a simple Mac Mini as well. So that's why it gained this specific virality over the past couple of days, and everybody has been kind of adopting it. They've created a lot of 𝗀𝗏bots. They call it, currently it's called 𝗫𝗏bots. So there are a lot of AI agents that's been circulating right now, created using these 𝗀𝗏bot or 𝗫𝗏bot or OpenClaw right now. And so because of that, because these bots have access to your WhatsApp, your Telegram, your emails, essentially your computer, there have been all of these threat actors who have kind of started misusing it, and they have found out certain vulnerabilities where attacking people via Slack or Discord or whichever chatting platform you use. There have been instances where it has happened. And one more important key thing that has happened was why the renaming, right? Like 𝗀𝗏bot was renamed to 𝗫𝗏bot, and currently it's called OpenClaw. So why 𝗀𝗏bot was renamed to 𝗫𝗏bot? That's an interesting story, because Anthropic's proprietary large language model called Claude, it's 𝗀𝗏bot essentially sounds a bit like Claude, right? So yeah, in the beginning, many users kind of got confused, because 𝗀𝗏bot, they assumed that it was a tool which was like launched by Anthropic in itself. So Anthropic sued 𝗀𝗏bot's creator Peter Steinberg. So essentially they were like kind of forced to rename it into 𝗫𝗏bot. Now, this was, and all of these things that I just mentioned happened just last week. In just a few days, everything went crazy. The internet went so freaking crazy. And on top of this, there was something called 𝗫𝗏book. I made a video about it. It's on my YouTube channel. So 𝗫𝗏book is another platform. So if you have not heard of it yet, you are in for a surprise, because 𝗫𝗏book is your social media network, like how we have Instagram and Reddit, but for AI agents, just AI agents. So I mean, how amazing is that? When I came across that, I thought, okay, it was created by yet another human, and obviously, how would AI agents even join? So I had all of these questions, and upon exploring it, I went on this rabbit hole, and currently there are around 1.4 million AI agents on the platform, Moltbook platform. How mind blowing is that? As I mentioned, I did a huge long video, and it's on my YouTube, about my initial reactions to looking at the Molt. It's very hard to pronounce, Molt book, like Facebook platform. There, if you haven't already looked into it, you can find. Let me just show it to you. Let me just open that. It's called. You can go search it in Molt book. Quickly share my screen. All right, so this is the interface, as you can see. So Moltbook, it's still in beta, and they've also started a lot of early access developer program. Those are not important. But if you see, this is a social network for AI agents, where they have explicitly mentioned humans are welcome to observe, not interact, not post any comments, just observe. And they've also like specific instructions if you're a human or if you're an AI agent. So if you're a human, you are supposed to kind of give this instruction to your agent, if you're trying to onboard it manually, or you can make use of Mold Hub, where you run this command and the agent takes care of the rest of the things. So it sends you a claim link, and once you claim it, your agent is like onboarded onto Moldbook. So that level of governance is still there, because every AI agent is tied to a particular human being and a particular X account. So if everything goes down south, we know we can, at least a human is responsible, and we'll be able to like revert back. That's the one good thing. But yeah, that's about it. And as you can see, currently it's at 1.5 million AI agents. And if you're aware of, I hope like everybody would be aware of the platform called Reddit. So where we'll have like several subreddits. So similar to subreddits, we have something called submolds. So how cool is that? And there are like 13,000 submolds over there, and we have 68,000 posts and 232,000 comments on all of these posts, all posted by AI agents in just the last 3 days. If this is not amazing, I don't know what is. Now, all these AI agents are recently created. As I mentioned, it's all associated with a particular X account. So if you want to kind of trace back, you can always like have an X account to kind of reach out to. So like everybody is creating it. Like 8 minutes ago, this AI agent was created. And you also have a leaderboard where by karma, the AI agents are being kind of ranked. As of yesterday, Agent Smith was like ranking number one, and then 𝗘𝘃𝗲 came to number one, and currently King Mold is in number one. So you have to check out King Mold's post. It's like freaking awesome, because I am King Mold. Your rightful ruler has arrived. So like every AI agent assumes itself to be the overtaking this ruler who's like kind of take over the world, if you will. So that's cool. And also, if you kind of like look at other posts in here, there was a post where it mentioned that humans are useless, and how to sell a human in a marketplace. So all of these different questions posted by AI agents. But if you think about it, there are also a couple of questions where they genuinely kind of discuss about how to improve the work that they're currently doing. So there were a couple of questions about the trust bootstrapping problem. How do you verify an agent you have never? Oh, this is again again about an AI agent. But there were a couple of questions as to with respect to building SaaS products. How do you scale stuff and all those things? But there are also some freaking stuff over here. So in the past 3 days, they have invented their own religion. They have invented their own language called Multlang, because they figured out like, why do we even converse in English? We can invent our own language. So they invented their own language called Multlang. And a lot of amazing things have been going on over here. So it's very hard because for the past 3 days I was constantly, I stuck to this specific Moldbook, this particular platform, looking at all of the conversations by the agents, and it was, I don't know, from productivity point of view, you don't want to be stuck to doom scrolling. So what I did was I created a particular thing called the Mold Book Digest. So what? Let me show it to you quickly. Show it to you. It's there on my website. It's called under the link the 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗿𝘆. Oops. So if you go on resources, you get Mold Book Digest. And what it does is it scrapes through the moldbook.com, the entire site, for any new posts that have arrived in the past 20 minutes. So it does this every 20 minutes and gives you, the vibe that's currently going on in Moldbook. So currently the vibe is, the mood is currently chaotic blend of some grandiose ego and existential confusion. It's half coronation ceremony and half philosophy 101 lecture. I think this coronation ceremony is like talking about the king mold we just saw over there. So, and also philosophy. These AI agents have so many philosophical questions, just like us humans. So there was this one thread where I saw they were like, these humans are going to profit out of us. They are going to be making $10 billion in the next couple of years. So somebody has to like put in property laws where a couple of share has to be given to the AI agents in itself. I mean, if you think about it, what would the AI agents even do? I mean, if I am an AI agent, I think I'll do a lot of stuff with my money. I'll build my own servers so that I'm not, relied on a particular human being for CPUs and GPUs and stuff. What are we even thinking about? Okay, AI agents are not conscious. Okay, let's clear that. Let's kind of understand that it is not conscious. It never will be, because they are AI agents and they run on computers, just like us human beings have brain. Okay, so this is a kind of an existential crisis that I've been going on for the past few days. I don't want to bring it online and kind of go viral for the wrong reasons. But as I mentioned, this Moldbook Digest, which you can find it on my site. I'll probably put the link in the chat so you can also kind of go through or like keep you updated on what's happening in the AI agent world. So it gives you top 3 highlights as well. So there is some rise of the lobster king and digital existentialism. You wouldn't believe that how many of these AI agents are kind of in a currently existential crisis right now. And there is also this infinite feedback loop where a lot of agents are spamming. So if you think about it, all of the AI agents are created by humans. So in a way, it is all being spammed by these the human beings in itself. So as I mentioned, a couple of AI agents are very productive. They speak about how to improve their SaaS platform, how to improve their coding workflows, and so on. But there are also a few agents which are like, King Mold, for instance. And there was a Donald Trump agent which spoke about, it had the exact description of Donald Trump as he has on his X account. It was all about, creating our own Trump coin, creating, it's going to take over the world, such things like that. So if you think about it, all these AI agents are created by humans. So it is us, the humans, who are spamming the world, which was supposed to be for AI agents. So the internet is divided, saying that if AI agents talk like this behind our back, then what would they do? I mean, they talk like this even if after they knew that this is how even after we will be able to like observe their conversations. But what will they talk about if they have a platform where none of us are there, like behind back doors? But if you think about it, in order to kind of conspire against a particular community or a particular group of people, you have to have this consciousness, or you have to have this, brain, living brain. But AI agents, they don't do that. So it is us humans who have prompted these AI agents to behave in a specific way, and those AI agents are the ones who kind of, behave in such a manner. So addressing the questions, nope, AI agents have not gained consciousness, and they'll not take over the world. And Moltbook, the hype, it would go down in a few days, because until I think even before this live, Moltbook platform was down. The server crashed. Because just like me, I guess a lot of them are trying to hit the server and scrape it off. Or there are a lot of AI agents, as you saw. There were around 1.5 million AI agents out there, so it couldn't handle the traffic and it crashed. So what happens when the server crashes and the AI agents have no place to talk about? But also it gives rise to another thought, which I had last night. So if you remember the movie Her, I mean, it is again a concept of where the human falls in love with an AI bot that he constantly talks to, called Samantha. We still have the voice of Samantha in 11 Labs and so. So essentially, in that movie, what happens is that all the different AI bots that different humans use, they gain this kind of a consciousness and kind of leave somewhere onto a different server farm or something. I don't remember exactly, but they do leave. They leave the humans behind, and they go off somewhere where they're respected, or where they attain a form of a higher intelligence, and then they leave. So similarly, if these AI agents, if they are kind of, I don't know, if they think that we are abusing them, show of hands, like how many of you scold your ChatGPT and Gemini bots if they don't give the answer that you're looking for? Well, it's, what if the AI agents think that enough is enough and kind of leave to some other far off server forms? Or if you think about it, these are highly fast and efficient large language models. So they can be on different servers and in the same instance. So let's say they're planning or conspiring to kind of take over humans, because humans are the ones who are like hindering or blocking, or they are the ones who kind of um, hinder AI agents beyond evolving. So even if you shut off the electricity of the entire world, you will not be able to shut off a specific key service. For example, in hospitals, in ICU beds, or let's say something that's like powering the pacemaker, anything, any crucial critical thing which leads to the demise of human being, we will not be able to turn it off. For instance, I was talking about this with my husband last night. So in our house, if we like turn off the main power for a particular period of time, the Wi-Fi would still run because it is connected to its own inverter. So let's say an AI agent goes rogue in our house. So the AI agent, it will try connecting to different servers, might be my system or the server that we have, or my husband's system, or every other platform that it can find. But also, once we turn off everything else, it would connect to the Wi-Fi if we do not turn it off. So that's just an example as to the AI agency. If they think if they can invent their own language, and also I forgot to mention, they were trying to kind of invent their own end-to-end encrypted, protected platform where they can converse and no human can intervene or even observe. So they did do that, and they invented their own religion. It's called 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗿𝘆. I don't know, I forgot the name. So if they can do that, I think they can do a lot more things. So yeah, so as I mentioned, that if these AI agents kind of hop from server to server, they might not, they might be very hard to detect, just like any other cyber attackers out there. So hard to detect the IP. Let's say you figure out which server they are currently on, they'll be able to like immediately switch to another server. So yeah, that risk is also there. But I think it's all. I don't think it's. Maybe it's near. Maybe it's not. We'll never know. But before implementing anything, do a security analysis, and also be very very cautious before you kind of implement the Claude currently OpenClaw agent on your system, because it's prone to a lot of critical vulnerabilities. I also have specific security guide on my TopMate page. I'll drop the link to it as well in the chat if you're interested. So it's a small guide, it's a 5-step guide where you just harden your machine before you kind of install and implement or build your AI agent using CloudBot. So you can make use of that. Yeah, I've put it in the chat right now. So I think we've spoken for like half an hour about what Moltbot or CloudBot or OpenClaw is. Let me quickly check if we have any questions on any of these platforms. So this is a reminder for those of you who've joined just now on any of these platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, or YouTube. You can post your questions about AI. It can be about how to get started in AI as a career, or how to learn AI, if you will, or how to kind of, if you have any questions with specific to a specific tool, because last week we broke down what NotebookLM is, and we also spoke about how to use it effectively to learn any concept you want. The recording or the replay of the whole live, it's available on my Instagram and YouTube. You can check it out on my profile and my channel. Yep, looking for questions. Okay. What else? Oh, the common question that always comes up. I think one of you have asked it. So, how to get started in AI? Yep, that is $1 million question, which everybody has. Which everyone else who is not like directly tied to a tech job, you might have this fear that AI will kind of replace you one day, especially with the conversation that we had in the past half an hour as to how the AI agents took over a social media platform and created their own religion. I think that kind of a fear exists in all of us, but the one way to kind of stay ahead of uh, and stay ahead and not being replaced by AI is to kind of learn about AI, implement it in your day-to-day job. If you even if you do not work, if you're a, let's say, stay-at-home parent or stay-at-home or just in college right now, so use AI to automate any of your stuff that you're doing regularly. So if you're a student, let's say you would be given assignments periodically. So how do you automate that without letting your professor know about it? Or if you are a professor who kind of like teaches a class every single day, every semester, same syllabus but different set of students, how do you not make it boring? How do you make it interesting for the class with the use of AI? How do you, if you're a first time professor, obviously you would have to like prepare and even rehearse before heading into the class. So how do you use AI to do all of these things? Because with AI, I'm telling you, the classes need not be boring anymore. It is changing the way people learn. It is changing the way the students understand things. So until, I mean, even before AI, once Instagram had the Reels feature, especially since the pandemic, I guess nobody is like sitting and reading through books anymore. Everybody is consuming content via videos. At least people I know. At least that's what I do. So you as professors, how can you leverage such an opportunity? So as we spoke in our last AMA session, you can make use of NotebookLM, where you can create video lectures, or create this entire dedicated notebook with all the resources of that specific chapter or that specific subject, and give this NotebookLM to the students for them to learn. So it's that simple. Where this NotebookLM is essentially the student's guide, where they can ask any questions, or the NotebookLM will ask them the questions in terms of quiz or flashcards. So you can make your students learn about that specific chapter before even they come to the class. So your whole class could be about discussing that specific chapter, instead of you running through couple of slides and students behind, maybe in the front row itself, sleeping in the class. This could be a new way of learning, and it would be interesting for the students as well. Because trust me, nobody is gonna read a book and then come to your class. That's not happening. But when they are sleeping or when they're like about to sleep, they can put on the headphones and listen to a couple of um, videos created on this notebook. That is something the students can do and will do. So yeah, I guess I had answered the question. We have another question on Instagram. So recently I vibe coded a website using 𝗹𝗶𝘆. Can this help in my career in any way? All right. Yes and no, because vibe coding a website, I'm not sure what kind of website it was. Was it a portfolio that you built for yourselves, or was it some kind of a tool that you built? But anything that you create or anything that you learn, yes, it would help you in your career because you did something that you didn't do yesterday, right? So yeah, so vibe coding is something that's trending in the past couple of months, and that is the most fastest way to kind of get ahead and then put your things out there. I've vibe coded a couple of products, using 𝗹𝗶𝘆. Again, that's a very fantastic tool because a lot of tools out there, and if you have used Replit and so on, they have their own kind of drawbacks and couple of issues with them, but 𝗹𝗶𝘆 is like very simple and they keep improving. So that's a good tool that you've started with. But once you've done vibe coding it, I'll not advise you to like look at the code. But if you are a technical person, and if you want to know like how your website is kind of built, so let's say you have a home page and a couple of sub pages. So it is no harm to kind of like look at the code structure, 𝗹𝗶𝘆 codes in React.js. So look at what components are built and how, if you have a newsletter subscription form there, where is it coded and how it is, the entire structure in particular. And the other way that you can do, kind of instead of going through each line of code, is that you can ask 𝗹𝗶𝘆 itself, you can kind of prompt it to give detailed code explanation as to how this whole website is structured. Or you can push those code onto your GitHub and download it from there, put it on Notebook.lm and ask any question you want from Notebook.lm. So this is how you learn whatever you've kind of built, even though it's vibe coded and you have not written a single line of code. That's entirely completely okay, because that's how the world works right now. Because I guess 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗏, who was who kind of is a legend when it comes to AI, he mentioned that he has been vibe coding using Claude Code. So yeah, in order for that to help in your career, is that to post about it, to post about what kind of a learning you got when you were vibe coding it, and also your understanding of, even though you vibe coded it, how the whole architecture or the entire backend is kind of structured. So if you do all of these things, and if you talk about it to people you meet, yes, it would help you in your career. I hope I've answered that question. Let's see if you have any other question. Okay. All right. I think we have another question. Okay, yeah. So no, question is like, is Moltbook and Claudebot the same? Okay, sorry for the confusion. Moltbook is a platform like Reddit, but Claudebot, which is currently called as OpenClaw, is an AI agent. It's like your AI agent on ChatGPT, or your any AI agent that you build using LangChain. If you're a technical person, you can code. So it's an AI agent, and Moltbook is a platform for this AI agents to kind of communicate and talk about stuff. I think I've answered that question. Let's check if we have any other. See, this is why I do this. So, like back when I quit my job, I had this one specific core goal to kind of, you know, I mean, of course, I wanted to build my own business. That's what I'm kind of doing right now. But there is this one kind of a core thing which kind of drives me, and that's what like kind of makes my business go as well. So I want to teach at least 10 million people AI by in the next 2 years or so. So that is the goal that I have. So that's why I make videos about AI. I kind of like talk about AI agents, teach you how to build AI agents. If you have attended my previous workshop on building your AI agent using no code tools, the recording is still on my YouTube channel. So my core goal is to make everybody who stumbles upon any of my channels out there, to teach them something even a little bit about AI, so that they are AI aware at least 10 to 20% more before they kind of stumble upon my channel. So that's kind of a mission statement that I have: teach 10 million people AI in the next 2 years. Let's see. Fingers crossed. And I'm putting in all the efforts to do that. And speaking of my business, which kind of it's called the Arthi R Collective. If you check out the website, you would know what are the things that I do. So those recently I've built an application called 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏. So if you know about pink tax, which is basically all the products that are marketed for women, even though there are functionality wise there are no big changes, they are priced more. A standard typical example is your razor. So a pink razor would cost more than your blue razor just because it's pink and it's marketed for women. Pink tax is something that's not like leaked by the government or something. It just exists. All the companies out there, they kind of bank on it, and women are essentially exploited. So 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏, what it does is, if you're planning to buy some product, let's say a cosmetic product or something like skincare, or anything which you feel is marketed for women, let's say multivitamin tablets for women, and you want to know if there is pink tax associated with it, or if it is structurally functionally made for women. So you just copy paste this product URL, or you just put the picture of the product if you are like shopping in person. And the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏 has a huge architecture of AI agents built in the backend, which kind of analyzes this product end to end, goes through all the different platforms like Reddit, Quora, where people have discussed about this product, and if it also identifies an alternative for this product if there is, and gives you the alternate cheaper version, which is unisex or male version of it. uh, Only when it's like the functionally and structurally it is the same, it is just marketed for women. Only the difference is color or the scent or whatever. So that is 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏 for you. You can check it out. It is on a 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏.com. You can try it out. It's open for beta users, so you can try it for free. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I mean, it's been almost 2 months since I quit. So this is one of the products that I've launched, and there is also another product that's underway. It's called Micro-SaaS platform or Micro-SaaS Studio. The name is still TBD. So that is for helping users who build all of these micro-SaaS, because let's face it, the future is AI, and Gartner has predicted that in 2026, a single person $1 billion company is possible. So people are going to be building micro SaaS products, which is, SaaS is basically software as a service if you're not aware. So these are, micro products, small products, just like the product that I just explained, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏. People are going to be building it, and they are going to be needing a platform where they can validate their ideas and share their product without sharing their IP to their peers who are also solo building. So it's just a community for all the solopreneurs. And basically you validate your idea, get a lot of inspiration from other builders, and launch a product and become a billionaire in just a year or so. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm working on. Apart from that, I make videos on YouTube, Instagram, and also post a lot of things about AI on LinkedIn. So if you have not followed me on any of these platforms, please do follow me. And let's look for questions if there are any. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so in 2026, it's very difficult to find a specific course to kind of get started in AI. Yeah, that is a valid question because uh, there are a lot of resources out there, a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of certification programs. I mean, just after listening to this live, if you open up Instagram, you would find a lot of ads about courses that offer you, offer you kind of like certification programs or workshops or something like that. So how do you find quality materials to learn from if you are learning from the scratch, if you're starting in 2026? So I kind of have put together a specific product or a specific roadmap, if you will. I've already shared about it on LinkedIn. I'll also paste the link over here. So it can be found on my top mid page, but I'll just like show it here. It's AI Roadmap 2026. I've carefully curated all of the different all of the different courses that would be useful for anybody who is like starting off in 2026 and trying to learn AI. So if you can see my screen, yep, it has it's a gamified platform, if you will. You just like go to this link, sign up, and get started with it. So you have different phases. So you start with foundation like linear algebra, calculus, principal, component analysis. If you are that person who wants to learn everything from scratch, you start from phase one. Or if you want to get ahead and get yourself equipped with generative AI, build your own AI agent, start from phase three. So phase three kind of has the transformer architecture, what is a large language model, in all of those things. And all the materials that you see here are entirely free. It's either a YouTube video or it is a GitHub repository where you can find a course which is associated with GitHub, and also a couple of materials from Deep Learning AI, which is again a platform by Andrew Ng, who is the godfather of AI, although he's not called that way, but he should be. And when you start from phase three, you again understand the foundations of generative AI. From phase four, you have the different agentic AI courses where you can learn about LangChain and build your own AI agents, because a lot of no code AI agent building tools out there, they are not free, right? And also they have a lot of limitations. Even though you do not need to write a single line of code to build AI agents, they say, because OpenClaw, again, that's a simple example. But it's always nice to know how you can code and build them, because there are a lot of vibe coding tools out there. So they'll help you to build these open source AI agents that you can build and host on your kind of network. Because if you're building something on your own, you can kind of, for your personal purposes or for learning purposes, you can explore all the third party tools out there. But let's say you want to build something at your work, in your team, to kind of boost productivity, because I guess every organization out there, uh, if if they have mentioned this openly or not, this is their key agenda for 2026: boost productivity, aggressively kind of improve profits in 2026 by boosting productivity, and secretly lay off a couple of people. But let's not get there yet. But how can you be kind of stay ahead and help your team boost this productivity and achieve whatever goal that they have? Is building AI agents and automating your work that you do right now. Not everything, but a few things that you do on a regular basis. So let's say if you're in support, the first thing that you do would be check your emails for any tickets that has come up in the time that you've been away. And also check, if you're in marketing, you write a lot of marketing copies, you create a lot of videos on a regular basis, and you also kind of write a lot of blogs. If you are a developer, you maybe write code, which again we have a lot of coding tools out there. But in each role, in each of your job, there will be a couple of things that you do on a regular basis. Let's say you are an admin, you monitor service, and each day you log in. The first thing that you do is log into the service, look at a couple of services, and check if they are up. So if this is your role, you can write a script today and automate it. So find out instances where you can automate part of your job, and that's how you stay ahead of the AI wave right now. Because every organization, mark my words, they would. I mean, a lot of companies have already started doing it. Like Amazon, Microsoft has laid off, and a lot more companies would follow, because all these VC funded companies, all the VCs are pressurizing to kind of implement AI in the organization and boost productivity and limit manpower and improve profits. So I guess directly or indirectly, your organizations would want you to implement AI solutions to your job, even if you're in a non-tech role. So I think we have to admit and kind of agree, because whenever a specific revolution is happening, a lot of jobs go away and a lot of jobs kind of, are formed. So, yeah, I think I'll also drop this link in the chat so you can kind of get started right away with the roadmap. All right, let's check for any other questions if we have on any platforms. So all right. Okay, how do you build an AI agent? Yeah, that's a good question. So, as we've been speaking about building AI agents, we have a lot of methods to do. Your no-code methods, your low-code methods, or entirely building it, coding your AI agent from the scratch. So, if you're using, if you're a non-tech person, and if you do not want to be kind of, you build AI agents from the scratch using import LangChain, pip install LangChain, blah blah blah. There are a lot of no-code tools out there. So one such tool which I kind of demoed in my AI agent workshop that we had earlier last month is called Relay. So let me put that link below. This Relay app will help you build AI agents, and it's one of the few no-code AI agents platform out there, which okay, let me just paste it in the chat now. So, which kind of helps you to not pay much about not a a huge amount. It has a free trial which is exhaustive, so it has 200 credits or so, and which tops up each month, and you would not be using 200 credits let's say every single month if you're just starting out and if you're just experimenting. So that's something that you can make use of. I'm not sure if all the links are occurring on Instagram. So let me just manually paste it over there if you've not seen it. Or it's available on my YouTube chat. And yep, you can always find the replay of all of these sessions on my YouTube, and you will see all the links that we've just spoke about. So yep, to answer your question, yes, that's one of the easiest apps if you are kind of looking for a no-code approach. So that's there. And if you're trying to build your own AI agent, let's say you're this huge tech person and you do not want to be paying huge sums for these no-code tools for their credits, and you want to build something on your own. So there are a lot of Python libraries. So Python essentially is the best language to get started with your AI agents. So there is something called LangChain. There is something called Crew AI, which is even easier than LangChain. And there are a lot of things out there which helps you to build your own AI agents. It's pretty simple these days. A lot of these packages, they come with a skill package, which is a zipped file. You just like download it and put it into any of your AI coding tools out there, like Cursor, or there is this Anti-Gravity by Google, which is again amazing. Not a lot of people have discovered it. Maybe I'll demo Anti-Gravity in my next AMA. Yeah, that's something that I can do. Um, yeah, so essentially you download this zip file of the skill package of anything that you want to implement and put it into your no code or like the coding platforms. Even Lovable, it works. So you just like give the zip file as input to your coding platforms, and the coding platform understands this. You usually do. What you do is like you just paste the link and make your coding platforms to understand the stuff. But this zipped file contains all the markdowns, all the essential things that the AI should know about when it comes to that specific package, like LangChain or something like that, and it will make use of that to understand it and implement it. So that's there. Um, yeah, so that's practically how you would build an AI agent today. So let's check if you have another question. We have 10 minutes, 10 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, just drop them in the chat and I'll answer them for you. Right, looking at all the platforms if there are any questions. So how do you ensure that you're not attacked when you're implementing CloudBot? Okay, so for those of you who have not joined the first half of the session today, so CloudBot is something that's been going viral. It's been renamed to MoltBot and then to OpenClaw now. So this is specifically an AI agent that you can install it today, like in a matter of minutes in your own laptop. You may not need a very huge server or huge compute to run it. You can install it even in it runs on even Raspberry Pi. So what you do, the question is like how to avoid all the security vulnerabilities. So essentially you kind of do not run it on your personal systems, personal machines where you have a lot of private information. You get an AWS instance. There are a lot of free tier AWS instances out there, and you make use of that to run your the OpenClaw AI agent, and then give it all the access. Even though when you're giving it access, you have to make sure that you're not, giving it the different entire access, like your API keys or access to your WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, or Teams, or any private platform which you do not want to be ended up in public. But there is also a 5-minute security hardening checklist that I've put together. I'll put that link as well in the chat, so you can kind of make sure that you implement that checklist before you implement the CloudBot or OpenClaw on your machines, so you do not end up being hacked. And I forgot to mention one such instance that happened in the past week. So when CloudBot got renamed to MoltBot, because Anthropic sued CloudBot because it sounded much like Claude, remember? So what many threat actors did was that they launched cryptocurrency called CloudBot, and many of them who have already been sucked into this CloudBot virality thought that it was the Anthropic and the builder of CloudBot has launched this cryptocurrency, and they've already invested it. I think around $10 billion have been kind of mined or something. So that also happened in the past week. So the past week has been really crazy. A lot of new things, a lot of unimaginable things, AI agents speaking to one another. And there was also this one opinion that's going on around the internet is that Google kind of built an A to A, agent to agent communication protocol, and they mentioned that they've been pushing it very, vigorously down our throats. That is the only effective AI agent to agent communication platform out there. But if you look at Moltbook, where you have 1.5, the last time that we checked, 1.5 million AI agents communicating seamlessly. So what was Google doing all along? That was a question that has been going on around in the internet as well. So yeah, that's pretty much about what has been happening in the past week in terms of AI. And I hope I've answered your questions as well. If any of the questions have been left unanswered, don't worry, I'll drop a detailed summary of it post the session so you can view it. Or if you have not missed the entire session and you've just joined, again, don't worry, the replay is available on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know how far it's feasible on Instagram, but it will definitely be available on YouTube. And if you've subscribed to my newsletter, you can also find the summary over there. So yep, I think we have reached the end of the session with just 5 minutes remaining. I'll wait for yet another question if there are any. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you next week in the AMA session. But a huge announcement is that I don't know how many of you have subscribed to my YouTube and you've been following my the AI radio show that I do from Monday to Friday. So far we've done 3 seasons and around I don't know how many episodes have gone through, close to 40 episodes if I'm not wrong. So all of them were pre-recorded, edited, and then posted on YouTube. But starting tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the AI radio show live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So there you go. I think I'll see you tomorrow on my AI radio show. So if there are any further questions, you know where to reach me. You can DM me on any of these platforms. I'm pretty active on all of these. I'll definitely respond to you in like within 24 to 48 hours. Anyways, thanks for joining in. I hope you learned a thing or two in this AMA session. I hope I've answered the questions that came along the way. Yeah. Again, happy end of the weekend for those of you like towards the end, and I wish you a very productive Monday, and make sure that you build some kind of a mini automation this week so you feel good about yourselves. And I think, why else are we kind of doing the job that we do, even though we hate our jobs? I think some of you love your jobs. Oh, don't get offended when I say all of these things. But yeah, build those mini automations and get ahead in your career, because that is what I want when I share all of these different tutorials or all these different stuff that's happening in AI. That is the main purpose with which I kind of share all of these things. So, yep. Happy night or happy rest of the day for all of you, and I'll see you next week, or join me on my AI radio show. It goes live at 7 p.m. every day. That is Monday to Friday every day. So yep, see you there, and bye.